Are brands wielding more influence in social media than we thought? Yesterday, that headline definitely got my attention because that's what we have recently discovered for ourselves in the last just 100 days. We have been producing YouTubes now for 100 days, close to 100. I haven't been counting those days, pretty close. Uh, Over 200, and we didn't know all. I mean, when we started out doing what we're doing, we knew why we wanted to do it. We just didn't know what the potential results were going to be, and they've been phenomenal. So Forbes got my attention with that headline. Forbes.com got my attention with that headline and I take from an article that Steve Olensky, contributor to Forbes.com, wrote. Inquiring more than 12,000 consumers in the United States and UK, they wanted to see how consumers engaged with various industries, retail, restaurant, travel, entertainment, financial, business, to be specific, well, they actually picked the industries then. Okay, via the big dogs of social media: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+. Well, after reading that paragraph, that definitely got my attention, because in fact, as we have been building the community, we have been actually testing in Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, just minor stuff, but the major things are happening for us on YouTube and Google+. And it's really not, I mean, it's been a fascinating journey, and begs the question, and I actually began this discussion with a friend of mine who I asked to go do search results on davidsbarter or SmallBizDavid, and or either one. And he came back and he said, well, what's it going to cost me to do that? For you to do that for me? You're my friend. And uh, I said, well, let's take the friends part out of the business formula. But it caused me to think about it. So I guess my question would be, what is the Google YouTube brand value of David's Barter or SmallBizDavid? Google YouTube brand value, because we were pretty well convinced as we began our journey about 100 days ago, this phase of our journey, that uh, we knew how to drive traffic. uh, but the interesting thing now, we've got search results that Google will publish in the search results, uh, 20 or 25 YouTubes that I've done. There were pages and pages of stuff and information, and so we clearly have the social marketing and social network technology platform in place, and now we just want to bring it to the community, and the way that it will get distributed in the community is by branding what it is that you do, using the main keywords that describes what you, not trying to beat the system, but what is it that describes what you do best, and embrace those keywords, and that's how folks will find you in our community. Believe me, you will not uh, uh, run out of small business keywords. because our number is quickly approaching 2,000. And it's just been a phenomenal thing. Nothing that we really were goal. Well, our major goal, our our only business goal was to drive 1 million page views to our community, the David's Barter community, in the next 100 days. What was it going to do to make that happen? That was because if you did that, when it happens, all the other things fall in place. And as we sat back to think about that, we actually said, well, there's only one partner that can get us to that number pretty quickly, and that's Google. We didn't formally go to Google. We just tried to understand what it was that Google had established for search guidelines. And applying good social marketing against those technology guidelines, that's the end product. We've been fascinated by the recent discussions that we've heard and read and blogged and whatever about over-optimization, and everybody was inflamed because it was announced at South by Southwest by Google's Matt that folks are now going to get penalized in search results for over-optimization. And my only response, well, my main response to that was, what took you so long, Google, to understand you should penalize bad marketing? And that's all that over-optimization is. It's bad marketing. And those folks that did it should get penalized for bad marketing. It is a concern. Well, we've got a brand. We've built a brand, and we didn't really realize that was going to happen before we opened the door to the community. When we started, we had no idea that was going to happen, but we just started testing and doing the things that we know how to do, and lo and behold, to that point, we've probably built 500 landing pages in the community. I'm going to guess at least 500 pages in that 100 days. YouTube has become a very, very important part of our business strategy because our days start at YouTube, and then we give that information to Google, and then we put it in our community, and that's how it works. It's been getting great results for us, beyond expectations, and we just want to share what's working for us with you at David's Barter Community.